Hi,
Hi,
besties.
besties.
Welcome back.
We've made it to episode 4, you guys. And this week, there has been so much happening online. I swear, threads, TikTok, Instagram, everyone's been talking about influencers, not just in Orlando, but all over. And I figured we could talk about it and give you guys our opinions.
We have some hot topics this week, like hot topics. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yes. I feel like I haven't seen this much discourse in a public forum in a while. I mean, there's always like the Reddit that's happening, but that's all the anonymous people. But over on threads, everyone's just calling each other out, and it's kind of crazy.
So, like, one of the main things that people have been talking about is theme park influencers giving away hacks and stuff and secret tips. People are not happy about it.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so where I saw this one really stemming from this week is the hack for the people mover. Have you seen that one?
No.
So essentially, someone posted, I don't even know who started this, but now there's been multiple posts about it. But it started with someone saying that if you're on the People Mover at night when there's not a really big line, that you can essentially just like wave your finger at a cast member and they'll let you ride it again. And a lot of people at first were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Cause then I could get on the People Mover and like ride it a million times during the fireworks and just keep seeing like the fireworks from the People Mover. But then there's the people that are saying, well, first of all, this isn't an actual hack. This is just like the cast members being nice. Also, don't just wave your finger at them, like actually ask and not treat them like a dog, which agree. And then there's also the people saying, like, if you guys keep giving these hacks out that aren't actual hacks, Disney's gonna stop doing it. So I kind of get all of the arguments over it. And I know that as like a content creator, if you have like a cool hack, you want to share it. But there's certain things where I feel like they should be gate kept a little bit because that is just a nice thing that cast members are doing that probably will need to be stopped if every single person on the People Mover at night is just asking to ride it again and again and again.
If you are riding a ride and you look at them and you're like waving your finger, the disrespect I would feel, and I would immediately be like, oh, that's cute with my two fingers. Get off the ride. What are we? I'm so glad we're testing the air quality, but I need you to get off the ride.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yep.
That's so rude. Do not do that. That's crazy that someone's out here literally saying, just wave your little finger and you can go again. No, you should
Yeah.
never just wave away at someone to begin with. That is just basic etiquette. Like, don't do that. That's not nice.
Yeah, that's like
Um,
snapping your fingers at a waiter in a restaurant. Like, you don't do that.
you don't do that at Disney
Yeah.
when you basically get someone a cast member does something really nice for you. And this may be something that they do once a day, twice a day, or they barely ever do it, or they just wanted to do it. And I understand why influencers, if this happens to a creator or someone who decides to post it, they're like, oh my God, let me post about this because this never happened, so it'll go big and I'll get views and whatever. But at the same time, like, don't. Because
Yeah.
now you've just ruined it for everyone else. Because these are things that are supposed to be little magical moments, like splooshed into your day if you're having a hard day at Disney. Because let's be so for real, unless you have it planned out to a T and you have someone with you, a professional. Basically, your day is going to get messed up at some point. And so these are meant to kind of like make your day better if not everything goes your way. So for someone to then post about it kind of ruins it because then half the time people start going up and asking for these things. And then Disney makes it a rule like, okay, cast members, we're not doing that anymore. We're taking that away because too many people are asking for it. And now it's no longer a specialty, like once in a lifetime little sprinkling of magic into your day. You're done. It's done and they're not allowed to offer it anymore. And it ruins it. So I get why people do it for the views, but like, just, it's not worth it. Like, just stop.
Yeah, and we saw this happen already with the t-shirts a while back, if you remember that one,
Yeah.
where someone was like, oh, if you wear something that's against Disney's rules, you get a free t-shirt. And then it became like this hack, and everyone was doing it. And what happened? Disney no longer does that. And now, if you come into their parks, they either fully turn you away or they tell you you have to buy it. So, obviously, Disney is watching and they will take it away. I think the only time it's okay to do this, and it's not even just for hacks, because I saw people also talking about like gatekeeping small businesses and small restaurants and like not posting about them because then it's going to make them really busy and all that stuff. I think those times it's okay to not gatekeep because obviously you're boosting up a business and a business owner is probably really excited about their stuff going viral. But if it's going to ruin the experience for the people who are working there, then that is when you should just keep it to yourself and keep those little magic moments to yourself.
Yeah, and if there's I understand too where people get upset. Like, for example, the tree of life in Animal Kingdom, it wasn't really well known until maybe like a year or two ago by the a lot of people that you can go back there and it's basically dead because no one really knew about it. It's kind of hard to figure out how to even get there. And you can take pictures there. You can go film your video there. A ton of people started posting about, like, guys, this is a great spot to go to get your pictures and not wait in a huge line in front of the Tree of Life at the entrance of Animal Kingdom to get your picture with a ton of people in the background. And I posted, my video didn't go viral, so I don't think anybody saw it anyway, but like, I posted about it too. And I understand why people are upset, like locals who come and they're like, oh, we had this spot and now the spot is more touristy and busy. But it's like, okay, but like get over it. It's Disney World. It's a theme park. Everybody who goes and pays money can go and explore all aspects of that theme park. Like I understand, but I don't understand because what about all the people that are coming and they come once in their entire lives? We're saving up for 20 years to be able to go to Disney. They come once in their whole life. Wouldn't you want them to get the absolute best family pictures and the coolest experience? And for locals to be so stuck up about places around a theme park, like, get over it. Yeah, I can never hop on that trend because it's like, no, stop gatekeeping.
Yeah, those things I think are totally fine to
Yeah.
put out and show those hacks. But like I said, as long as it's not messing with the cast members and their job, like, I'm cool. Throw the hacks out. Like, I've learned a lot of little tidbits from seeing those hacks, but
Yeah, same.
waving your finger at them, not even asking if you can write again, but literally waving your finger, I think is not okay.
Yeah, and also on that note, there's also a lot of people who don't treat cast members nicely or team members, just staff at theme parks for specifically with theme park content creators, but I also feel like this happens with influencers just in general, content creators in general. So I don't want to just specifically say theme park people, but because we're so involved in the bubble, I feel like most of my examples come from there. But I feel like we need to have a quick little 3-minute lesson on etiquette because there are some people who walk in with very high expectations. And we spoke about this with Maddie in episode 3. If you want to go listen to that, she had some really great examples. But we need to start treating people with kindness. We really do.
Especially, well, not especially, always, but I've heard a lot of entitlement happens when people are also getting invited to events and how they're treating cast members there because they think because they're invited, like, cast members have to give them extra things. And that is not the case at all. They're just there to do their job. You're there to do a job. Your jobs do not go together. They do not have to film for you. They do not have to follow you around. They do not have to act for your camera if you want to have them like handing you something in a video. Like, they do not have to do any of that. And just please treat them with kindness. I also saw, this wasn't a theme park creator. This is actually a much bigger creator, and I'll say their name because they will never listen to this. But I believe it was the Try Guys that did a video at Disney World. I think they got invited, and they did apologize for this because they realized like they went a little bit too far. But they did kind of like a scavenger hunt around Disney World, and they were also asking cast members to like skip the line and like go through the lightning lane line, and a lot of people called them out for it, thankfully. But those are things like you should not be doing for the sake of a video. Like, again, if you're making the cast member's life harder, and especially if you're trying to get them on video, just don't just be nice.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, I'm doing Disney a favor. Or like, oh, like Disney invited me out, so I have to get the content. So you have to work with me. Like, no. Disney invited you out because Disney's expecting you to make content. Disney is not paying their cast members to work for you.
Right.
None of them are working for you. Disney is not allowing you extra discounts. They're not giving you free stuff unless they give you a gift card, unless they say you're getting this thing for free, you're not getting that thing for free. Trust me, Disney is stingy and they will not give it out if they don't want to. Like, relax.
Yeah.
So the crazy part is that they'll go up and have these expectations, and it's like, I'm sorry, but who are you? Like, sit down.
Yeah.
And they give us such a bad rep, like us as in creators or other people who just want to post content, because it's sadly so common now that someone with a bigger camera goes up to a team member or a cast member at Universal or Disney and expects things, or expects an automatic discount, or expects to be led to the front of the line or allowed to go through express because they've worked with Universal in the past and they're doing this for Universal, they're doing this for Disney. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm sorry, unless you work for Universal or you have a contract with Universal that you're doing this thing for Universal, which at then Universal would inform their team members, or Disney would inform their cast members that they're filming something. So I fully understand why we have a bad rep, because of people like that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you have to remember when you're going there, whether you're invited or not, you're just a regular guest to these cast members. So you don't deserve any special treatment. You don't deserve to treat them like garbage. They're there to do their job. You're there to film and have fun. Let them have peace. And if there's any time where you're going to the park, I know Maddie was talking about this last week in the blog. If there's any time where you can make a cast member's day better because you know that there's people that are already making their day worse, if you can, just try. And be extra nice to them, if anything, because there's already a lot of content creators that are making us look not so great in their eyes. So let's try to just do better.
And on top of that, if anything, all the creators who are going are obviously locals, right? So you already know what cast members and team members go through on a day-to-day basis with people who are paying so much money for their trip that they saved up for, and the ride is down, or the snack is sold out, or whatever's happening, and they're already screaming at cast members and team members because their day was so bad. You, as a local who go there all the time, who witnesses these all the time, should know better and try to at least make their day easier, not go in where you can step into a park for an hour and then leave and just come back whenever you want, and make their day worse because it would make your video better. Figure out a way to make your video better without relying on other people giving you free stuff.
Another thing too, it's not just the cast members when it comes to etiquette, it's also other guests. Because I know a lot of us are just annual pass holders. We go all the time. We kind of take Disney for granted at this point. But like Timea said, there's a lot of people that go here where this is their once in a lifetime like trip. They've spent thousands of dollars to come to Disney. So your content should not come above their experience either. I actually saw a post about this morning where someone was saying like, please turn off your flash during a show or during a ride. The amount of times where I have gotten on like Haunted Mansion and someone has had their flash on, like that ruins the experience for everyone around you, and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, your content is not that important, no offense. Like, we've seen Haunted Mansion a million times. It doesn't matter what video you're filming. Like, do not turn your flash on during those rides.
Did you see that one video from that girl who rode Guardians and was
no.
like, this is like the hosier yell? Do you know that trend?
Yeah, I know the trend. I didn't see the video though.
So she basically filmed herself going when Guardians goes backwards, and she said this is the moment that felt like this yell, and it was like her getting her favorite song. But she had her flash on. Like, you can see, because you can tell in that part it's pretty dark, so you can still see her face, but it's dark. And so she very clearly had her flash on, and it's dark in there. So if she had her flash on, it ruined that whole experience of like shooting backwards and all the effects and stuff. And people, there's like half of the comments are like, oh my god, yes, and the other half of the comments are like, why is your flash on? Turn your flash off. And the same thing with the Tron ride, when people are doing the Wicked and trying to sing the song. some of them have their flash on because once they get into the tunnel, it's very clearly that their flash is still on. And like that whole indoor area is all like pitch black and it's meant to be like that. And so I'm sure they turn their flash off. I would hope so. But like afterwards, but like still, what? It's turn your flash off. I don't understand.
You're also not even
And
supposed to have
also,
your phone out during Tron.
I know. And also, if you're just a normal guest and you're not a content creator, stop trying to take flash pictures of your children on The Little Mermaid and any of these other darker rides. There's a reason no flash is allowed, because I'm not trying to sit over here with basically a white screen in front of me because you're pointing your flash at it, trying to video it. I'm sorry if we don't know how projectors work, but if you point a flash at a screen, you're not going to see the projection. Please, just no flash photography, guys. Okay, that's the end of that. No flash photography, for the love of God, please.
Yeah. And one more little etiquette thing, and this goes outside of Disney. But if you're being invited out for a free meal at a restaurant, please tip your servers. Please tip your servers, or negotiate that the restaurant tips the servers.
Do they not
Because
tip?
there's a lot of people that don't tip. Yeah. And a lot of
For a
restaurants
free.
don't include that in the package. And you should ask this beforehand if you're not sure. But the servers aren't the ones giving you the free meal. They're still doing the service. They're still doing their job. They're not getting anything out of it if you're not tipping them like anything. So if you didn't confirm with the restaurant that they were going to tip their servers out, please tip your servers. Please.
That's crazy. I didn't know people did that.
Yeah. All the time. And I've seen it happen.
That's horrible.
Just don't.
We could go on and on for
I
years
can go
about
on and
etiquette,
on.
honestly. But another big thing that I've been seeing that has been a bit controversial lately is the Snow White premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has been all over Reddit, Threads, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. And I think majority on Threads, really, and maybe Instagram, is where I've seen a ton of content creators begging to be invited to a Snow White premiere. And I just want to get this out of the way, and maybe please like DM me, but I don't understand the literal need. Like, I will die if I don't go to this premiere, because I get it's a cool experience and it's really awesome to be invited to something like this, but the way that people are pushing out their content and switching up everything, and now Snow White has been every creator's personality and favorite princess for the past 2 months, and all they post about is Snow White bound, Snow White this, Snow White that. Like, I don't understand the incessant need this badly to want to go to a premiere. Like, I don't understand. Wouldn't you rather be invited to a Disney cruise? Or what about Epic? Why was no one doing this for like the past year for Epic? Like, why are we?
Well, there have been people also begging for Epic, but I think with the Snow White premiere specifically, I think people saw that content creators started getting invited out for premieres. Was it like the Wizards of Waverly Place one that happened a couple months ago? And I think people saw that and were like, wait, this is cool. I didn't know that was an option. And then they just went from 0 to 100 for Snow White because that was just the next one coming up. And like, I get wanting to go to a premiere. I think that's a cool experience. I think going to any of the Disney things that they invite you to, the cruise, the premiere, like, I think those are all really cool experiences. I don't think we should be begging online to go to them, though.
That too.
I think we need to just maybe cool it a little bit, because there's been two different things. There's been like what you say people are doing, right? Where it's like they made Snow White their entire personality, and like every single outfit has been a Snow White bound, and like they're buying the Snow White jewelry and like posting about it and posting their throwback pictures with Snow White, which like that's still very obvious. Like, oh, I want to go to this premiere, but at least it's like showing that you actually care about Snow White a little bit. I don't know. But then I've also seen people flat out being like, just shooting my shot, Disney, can I get invited to the premiere? Or like manifesting the Snow White premiere. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe we could just be a little more subtle with it, is all I'm saying.
Or if they do that because they're hoping that if enough of their followers are like, yeah, Disney, you should invite this person out, then they think that the public peer pressure is gonna have like force Disney to invite them out to this premiere, which I don't think they care enough for that to happen unless like a very special circumstance occurred where it would be good PR for Disney. Disney isn't getting anything out of inviting you. They're not going to invite you. I feel like we should be maybe trying to get Disney's attention on social media with other posts and things, but not like outright begging, just like tag them so they'll see your stuff.
Right.
And then maybe slide a DM into their socials or send someone an email if you can find an email online, but not like publicly for please invite me out. Like this is all I've ever wanted.
Yeah, I would say just like
Ma'am.
interact with the brand a lot. And this goes beyond Disney. This goes for any brand that you
Yeah.
want to collab with. If you aren't to the point of like DMing them or sending them an email, just interact with them a ton on Instagram or TikTok or wherever it is. I know people that have gotten invited out to Disney Springs because they were just tagging Disney Springs in literally every single post, every single time that they went to, and they were there every other day. And eventually Disney Springs was like, oh, wait, this person keeps tagging us. They actually have a following. Let me invite them out. So just, yeah, just be a little more subtle, I would say. Because then
Yeah.
also there's people on the flip side that aren't the brand that are seeing you begging, and they're also,
Like your audience.
yeah, your audience is also just not okay with this. Because I've seen other people's posts calling people out who have been doing this. So
It's just like it's not a cute look. It's literally like you're just desperate for
yeah. And if
to
you're
get
gonna do
invited.
it, maybe just do it once. Don't post every single day asking for an invite. No, but that leads me to this next thing because I've seen people do it with their announcements for these big invites, but also just big life announcements. And that is posting about it maybe like too many times and hinting that they have this big announcement coming 50 videos in and just continuing to post it. So should people be milking their big announcements, or should it just be a quick post, hey, this is happening, and then letting it go? How do we feel about that?
So I definitely don't think that a announcement should be basically a literal season one of your life. Like it doesn't need to be a whole series of posts like all the time and it becomes your whole niche for like 3 weeks or something. I do think it's okay to dramatize your announcement and like if you're so excited about something, grateful for whatever you're announcing or whatever it is, but I also think you should feel comfortable enough to get like celebrate whatever it is that you're announcing. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
if you want to make a fun video about it that's super cutesy and different and whatever, then you should do it. But with what you just said, like don't make it literally 100 posts and don't also make 30 posts leading up to the announcement being like, guys, can you guess from all these Easter eggs and hints and stuff? Like you could do maybe one if your audience likes that and that's something that you like doing, but maybe like 2 posts, 3 posts max about your announcement. Post about it however you want though. Like if you want to scream it at the top of the building, scream it at the top of the building. That's fine, but just don't post a million of them.
Yeah, I agree. Don't post a million of them, but I also think like if people are watching them, why stop? I don't know. Like, so this stemmed from there's a big Orlando creator. She made a pretty big announcement. She made a long, well, it wasn't even that long, but people think it was a long YouTube video. She posted about it a couple times on TikTok. She obviously posted about it on Instagram. It's been a couple of posts. And people are kind of calling her out because they think it's too much and they think she's being dramatic about it and it's not that big of an announcement. In my opinion, it is a pretty big announcement. And yeah, did she post about it a lot? Sure. But people are still watching it. People are still talking about every single one. I've seen people posting themselves watching her announcement and saying like how much they're gonna miss her and like all this stuff.
Oh,
So like
wow.
yeah, like it's doing numbers. So in my opinion, as a content creator, if it's working, why should you stop? Maybe not 100 posts, but a couple posts. I don't
I
think it's
mean,
that bad.
yeah, I get that. I just also think, okay, so from like personal experience, right? because I did this when I first got laid off my job, right? And I was called, well, I was called a few names for this on the Reddit feed. But when I first got laid off my job, I started that series where I was making it like a challenge. Some people took it as more like I was just looking for pity, which I'd never want pity. And I even put it in every video, like, I don't want your pity comments and follows and whatever. Like, this is literally just a fun challenge I'm doing for myself. But obviously, I used a hook, and the hook, every video I used the hook, my videos did numbers.
Yeah.
So before I did anything, I started it with the same hook. It wasn't every single video. I tried not to make it every day, every single video, but it was like every other day. Like, it was very frequent.
Yeah.
And I think like a month in, I started getting one or two comments being like, okay, this is getting boring now. Like, can you do something else? Can you like say something else, whatever? And I'm like, I mean, I can, and I do in other videos, but clearly these are the ones you're seeing.
Yeah.
So it's working. But like, I also didn't want to be so annoying that it was the same thing over and over. So I tried to space them out even more after that, and try to only use the hook like once in a while, because I don't want to annoy people. That's not the goal. But also, like, it still was an active thing I was doing. So I wasn't just going to stop talking about it. And it was getting my videos numbers. Like, I'm not going to lie. So it was working. Yeah. So, but then I think eventually, obviously, I got hired. So I couldn't lie and use that anymore, because I wouldn't lie and say that anymore. But that hook did me numbers, and I did use it for a while. So I did post, I guess I wouldn't say milking it, but kind of, I guess maybe from that, there were people who were getting sick of it. So yeah, that's where I was like, maybe not too many, because eventually people who even people who like your content will start getting sick of it after hearing it over and over and over so many times.
Yep.
But also, like you said, if it's getting views.
Yeah, that's the thing. So as a content creator, if it's working, it's working. Keep using it until it doesn't. As a viewer, if you don't want that to happen, if you don't want your favorite content creator to keep talking about the same thing over and over again, don't watch it. And that'll tell them it's time to let it go.
Or just say it too. I mean, like,
yeah,
comment it. Everyone free will, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I mean, don't be mean, but
yeah, no, don't be mean, please.
But please. Yes. Have you seen the video? It kind of popped up. It wasn't about Orlando, but it was about New York City influencers being boring and carbon copies of each other. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay,
no.
So essentially, this girl who had, I think her video originally had like 800 views. It really did not go around. But she was just saying how a lot of the New York City influencers are just copies of each other. They all go to Pilates, they go drink their matcha, they go shop at Revolve, like, and it's just this formula. And what ended up happening is one of the New York City influencers, who I guess thought she was in that group of the boring people, made a video. It blew up, started this whole conversation of, are New York City influencers boring? I then got to thinking, do people think the Orlando influencers are boring and just carbon copies of each other? Because, I mean, we all kind of do the same thing. We all go to the theme parks. We all go review the same food places. I mean, I like to think that we all are different and have our own thing going on. But I want to know if people think we're boring and we're just all carbon copies of each other. And I think it's a really interesting just topic of conversation, because especially with like how it started with the New York City influencers, is that's the videos that people watch, are all the girls that are doing the same things. So why would that stop other content creators from wanting to do the same thing? So I don't know.
I have mixed feelings about this, because I think that every influencer, content creator, whatever you want to call them, people who post videos, every single person is their own individual person, right? Every single person has their own, like we were talking about this in the podcast with Maddie, and we've even mentioned this before too, where Shaneck and I will go film the same stuff, and we always send each other videos. If one of us films it vertical, the other one films it horizontal, because no matter what, Shaneck's editing style and like the theme that she puts on her video, or like the reason why she's at a certain place, the same is not the same reason I'm at that place. And even though we might film the same things, the videos are completely different, and we edit completely differently. We everything we do is completely different. Our content is not the same at all. And so I feel like along that line, every single person who makes content, they all have a very individual style. But I will say that I think numbers speak more to this, because being in specifically just the theme park community, so that's why I'm going to talk about that, because that's what I'm in and that's what I've experienced in. I feel like people do think we are carbon copies, because all of us out here, at least, are trying to find unique ways, unique series to start, unique things to do in their videos, unique fun challenges to do at the theme parks, right? And so, like, why would we be trying to do that if not because our views don't do well on videos where we just do regular schmegular things? Unless you have a very unique style and you're doing a regular thing, but you have a unique style to doing it and you do it a certain way, and people find you like a comfort creator or something, then I think that people do feel like we're carbon copies, because everyone's out here trying to do something more exciting than the last person and more of a unique, fun, twist on something, or like how many rides can I do in an hour and whatever. And I feel like we wouldn't be trying to do that unless our views on other videos that weren't low,
Yeah, I feel like there's only so much you can do. And like, not just how much you can do in the theme parks, because there's a lot to do in the theme parks, but so much you can change from like what other people are doing to make it this whole unique thing. And yeah, we all have our different editing styles and our different like ways we do voiceovers or vlogs or whatever. But yeah, there's only so much. And if the numbers aren't numbering, then people are just going to keep doing the same thing that works over and over and over again. And that's what someone was bringing up with the New York people, is that a lot of these girls that were considered like carbon copies of each other, they all have the same management, and their management person apparently is like a creator genius and essentially has this formula for people to become big, and it is doing these same things, going to Pilates, going to whatever, like. And so if that's what's working and people are trying to make this their full-time job, yeah, it sucks that everyone's doing the same thing, but the numbers don't lie, unfortunately. And if that's what people want to watch, I think if people do find us to be boring, like content creators, and you, as you're scrolling, you see that every single person is the same video, I think the best thing people can do is find diverse voices and like diverse people, and just spread your wings a little and stop following the same people over and over again. I mean, it's still okay to follow them, but like, just try to find someone who is bringing more of like that diversity into it, and spread your wings a little, open up your eyes, because there are a ton of Orlando content creators, and there's a ton of small Orlando content creators that are putting out some fire content that people just aren't watching. So go find them, because they are out there.
If you don't like seeing the same thing over and over again, then just keep scrolling past. Or yeah, like that's the thing, is I think the best thing about the social media apps is like, if you don't like something, the second you see it pop up, girl, this is where F1 reaction time comes into play, because the second a video comes up that you don't want to see on your For You page anymore, the first thing you need to do is scroll so fast past that video that TikTok is like, oh, or Instagram or whatever, Shorts, YouTube is like, oh, they don't like that. Okay, cool. We'll like stop showing this person those types of videos. Yeah. But like, if you keep sitting there staring at this video because you won't admit to yourself that maybe you do like this person's content, or like, and you're just trying to say you don't, but like maybe you actually do, because you end up getting hooked every time. Yeah. Either admit it and just keep watching the video, because at the end of the day, you're just consuming mindless stuff to either, just entertain yourself or do research. But like, either scroll past it and find other people, or just, I don't know, just watch it. Just admit to yourself that you like it and just keep watching. That's it.
Me with all of the Jellycat videos.
I know.
I love them. They're so cute. I watched one. Now my entire For You
page has Jellycat videos.
And I don't know how to change it.
You're going to have to just keep scrolling past them and not watch them. But like, you want to keep watching them.
They're so cute, so I keep watching them. But it's all Instagram gives me now.
I have a love-hate because, like, as much as I do Jellycat videos all the time, I do love them. But they are, like, I will never not say that they are so expensive.
Yeah.
They are, like, an
Baby
abominable
ones are like
price.
20 something dollars.
I know. $20 for a stuffed animal. Please.
I know.
Girl, in this economy.
But the little penguin keychain, I did say if I see it at another store, I will buy it.
But the keychain's also like $20.
Oh, I know. I think it was like 25. But that's why I didn't buy it the first time. That's why I didn't buy it the first time. But if I see it at another store, I am going to take it as it's meant to be. And then it's mine.
See, but that's what I'm saying. Is like I love them. And honestly, going on the hunts and doing that whole series is so fun. It's so fun looking for all of them, but they are so expensive.
They're so expensive. So cute though.
I know. So that's why I can't just like buy every single one that I like. Anyway, we're just on the topic of Jellycats now. And
Wait,
I'm sorry.
Go to the Jellycat store in London when I go. I feel like I feel like I should.
You should. For me.
Just to see.
Please take videos. Okay, that's how I know I'm getting old is by literally saying that like I'm collecting stuffed animals, but then also being like, buddies as fancy. I'm actually looking at, you know, how much
prices?
things cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for example, like I just ordered a ton of stuff because I am redoing the entire wardrobe. And this is another reason why I know I'm getting old, because after redoing my whole wardrobe and ordering very, very like selectively ordering stuff, I'm going with a very specific, like not niche, I guess, but like style of clothing that I basically want to wear for the rest of my life. And, I'm slowly redoing my entire wardrobe. But with that, for example, I have jean shorts. I have tons of jean shorts. It's Florida, right? Mm-hmm. The other day I was like, okay, I need to get dressed up, but I don't want to wear jeans because it's too hot. So let me put on jean shorts because that's the other, like, what other short do you put on? I guess like a skirt, but also all my skirts are sweat proof because so they're athletic skirts because it's so hot here.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me put on jean shorts. All my jean shorts were barely cupping my boots. Okay. And I maybe have one pair that goes like an inch or two below my butt, but it like sits lower and I didn't want it to be super baggy. I wanted a specific style and I didn't have that. And I was standing there and I hated how I looked in literally every pair of jean shorts I put on. And I was like, why are all these so short? and now I'm like, dang, am I old? Am I in my modest era now? Because
so.
I was looking through that list of clothes that I got and I got a pair of dad shorts. They're like 4 or 5 inches long. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be so cute. I don't have to worry about my butt hanging out. Like it's going to look more classy, but still a jean short. I was like just listening to myself talk and I was like, who is she?
I feel, yeah. Cause I mean, shorts are different for me because I'm so short. I'm literally 5 feet tall, you guys, that if I buy those longer shorts, I think it just makes me look like a little Oompa Loompa. But where I feel is on the cleavage, because I used to be like, oh, let them out. Who cares? And I have this one white top that I bought last year that is so cute. Literally the cutest top. Every single time I put it on, I'm like, oh, I gotta cover up. That's too much cleave. And so I feel, I've been like trying to find new clothes too. And I'm like scouring the internet and just can't figure it out.
I know. And now I feel like the formula for this new wardrobe, and I think I'm going to do like a whole series because I got a ton of stuff, so I'm excited. But I feel like the new formula for this new wardrobe is essentially not like bodycon, but essentially flattering clothing that's flattering to your body and like complements your shape, but doesn't show cleavage and like a ton of skin and all that stuff. And low-key, I am so here for it. And I think it looks so classy and cute.
Well, because then here's the other problem, right? Florida, Orlando especially, is so hot during the summer. And so it's like, how do we have this like elevated style without wearing shorts and tank tops and literally basically being naked because it's so hot here? I just don't get it.
I know. I think the theme parks might have to be the exception where like I don't do that. Going from AC car and then the couple steps it takes you to get into another place of air conditioning, like I think I can survive that with a cuter outfit. You said no?
Maybe. I don't know. Because I go on Pinterest and I see all these like super cute like spring outfits, summer outfits, but a lot of them are still wearing, it's like a tank top, but it's like a sweater vest tank top. And I'm like, I would die. I would literally die in that. So I don't know. And I don't know what to do because same, I want to do an elevated, like, get to my next level of fashion, but it's so hot. And I just,
The aesthetic I'm going for is like old money aesthetic. I think you're going for the same thing too in your new
a little
wardrobe.
bit, a little bit,
A little sprinkle of
a little
it. But anyway,
sprinkle.
so that's the aesthetic I'm going for because I want to be that mom when I have kids where I show up to pick up my kid and I'm full, just like, I don't know, dressed up, whatever. But my problem is a lot of the old money aesthetic I feel like works when over super analyzing my Pinterest board. I was like, okay, all of these are very light colors, but all of these show sweat. And
Yep.
so my thing is I am going to sit in my hot car and I'm going to get up and there's going to be a pool of sweat in my pants.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
so how do we not do that? You know, like how do we walk around and not literally have sweat? And like there's nothing wrong with sweating, by the way. Like especially if you're at the theme parks and stuff, like there's nothing wrong if you have sweat stains. Don't get me wrong. I just personally have a thing like I don't want to have sweat stains. Like I'm self-conscious about that essentially. And so like how do we avoid that when it's 100 degrees outside and I'm wearing white pants?
You don't. You don't. But the
But
colors,
then how?
yeah, the colors thing though, very interesting you mention that because you know what's something I really want to do is I want to get my colors done. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah, to like match your skin
Yeah,
tone. Yeah.
because I've noticed now, especially now that I'm paying attention to like my clothes and like what I want to wear and like what my aesthetic needs to be. I've noticed I've seen my videos where I'm like, oh, I look washed out in that. And like that used to be a color that I thought I looked really good in. So I feel like before I go and buy an entire new wardrobe, I need to figure out what colors actually look really great on me. Because a lot of people will think, oh, just like black, white, blue, like all the little basics. But that doesn't look good on some people. Those aren't your colors. Like you're maybe not a winter, and black is not meant for you. So I don't know. I kind of want to figure that out too. But it's like
That would be really
$300 to
interesting.
do.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what?
that's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I think I'm good. I think I'll stick to my basics.
I keep looking it up. There's a couple places around Orlando where you can get them done. And I forget the price every single time, so I go back and relook at it. And then I get stunned all over again. And I'm just like, I guess I'll wait it out. It's fine. The thing is, like, I can't ever tell. I've tried all of the filters on TikTok to try to figure it out. And I can never tell. I think I have an idea of what I am. But I also think I could be two different things. And that's also not correct. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. $300 is a lot. We need to get going. I need to edit this podcast.
To edit.
So literally bane of my existence every day. After what's on the to-do list? Editing and filming and then more editing.
More editing? Yeah, no, I never finish editing. I'm so behind on editing.
As we speak, I am basically already editing this podcast so I can try to get ahead of it. Let us know what your thoughts are on any of the things we talked about because I feel like some of them are pretty controversial, but it was exciting, and I really do want to know what your thoughts are on some of it too because I feel like different perspectives are good, and I'm just interested to see if anybody has any other opinions. So please send me a DM. I know some of you guys have been DMing non-tips and just thoughts about the podcast or leaving comments on my videos, and I so appreciate it because it makes me so happy to see that you guys are enjoying it, and we're just chit-chatting along here. But let us know, or I think you can also comment on
Yeah, you can
Spotify
comment
and
on Spotify.
iTunes.
I'll put up a poll for all the topics and let us know which one surprised you more, I guess. And you can just vote. And that's anonymous.
Okay, yeah, do that. Okay. It was so fun hanging out, besties. And until next week, bye.
Bye.